Isn't it Bugaboo?
How does that go?
I'm not going to sing
Bugaboo, a bugaboo. That, like that.
I'm bugging me, I'm bugging you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Overshare, the podcast. I'm Lily here with Jocelyn. And Jocelyn, you're back in the Los Angeles.
Oh, I'm back in the Los Angeles. I'm back in the California. I'm back in the corner of my bedroom. I feel like I've been in Arizona working for the last 6 months because I have.
But you guys are, I would make a reference to someone on HGTV, but I don't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the goal. That would be amazing for sure. I would love to do something like that just to have a little bit more help with some of these projects,
guys,
to be honest.
If you're unfamiliar, Jocelyn and her husband have casually started flipping houses. And I feel like when people start doing that, it's like, oh, we'll do like a few like little fixes. No, they like gut the houses and totally redo them and then make them really cute. And I want one.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
are you doing it for free and purchasing the houses?
I mean, thankfully, this was already Chris's job. Like, he's already a real estate investor and a realtor and has already done projects.
That's very different to then redecorate and redesign. Like, it's impressive.
It's actually crazy and so involved, and there's like permits and like
you guys
professionals.
You get it done so fast.
Well, that's the thing. If you're flipping a house, you have to get it done fast. Otherwise, it's just a fun hobby and you don't make any money off of it.
But it's ironic because I feel like people that get their own houses redone, it like takes forever and they're living in it.
Yeah. And it's just crazy because like you were talking about HGTV, there's the show Fixer Upper, which Chip and Joanna used to host.
Sure,
which
that
now
would
has
have been
come
the
back.
reference that we'll insert
that. Their motto is like, we find the best or the worst house in the best neighborhood. And our motto is like, we find the worst house in the worst shape, in the worst property, and just hope we can turn it into something okay. Like the houses we're flipping are like literally projects no one else wants to be involved with because they're like uninhabitable. Well, so we're just like bringing them back to life.
It feels like you're building new houses, essentially.
We basically honestly are. And I think one of our next projects might be just a new build from the ground up, because in some ways that is actually significantly easier than flipping a house. Because if you're flipping a house or remodeling, you have to deal with what you have. If you start from the ground up, you like kind of know what you're getting yourself into. You know what I mean?
Request.
Yes.
Well, I saw that Grace and Mamrie are redoing their
the Highball house. I'm following on Instagram.
I'm already so excited. I'm so amped up. It's going to look so cute. Can you guys start an Airbnb? Because that would be great.
Yes. So I don't know if I've shared a lot of this, but that's definitely one of our plans. And Chris and I have offered on that type of property probably 7 or 8 times. Most recently, yesterday, we got rejected. We got second place on a property that we wanted to turn into an Airbnb, like a desert oasis kind of vibe. I already know how we're going to decorate it and what it's going to look like. And I'm so excited for people to come visit whenever
I love a cool Airbnb.
No, 100%. And Chris was like, do you think like Lily would come stay here and post about it? I was like, absolutely. She loves Arizona.
I would like a family discount, but yes.
You mean $0? Yes. Okay.
No, I would. That's why I want you to. I'm like, any free weekend, I would go.
Absolutely. Melissa's nodding as well, our producer. I hope you're in for a road trip. But anyways, yeah, I've been in Arizona forever, but now I'm back in my bedroom. So I'm pretty excited about it.
One last question. What's the weather like there?
The weather was all over the place. As we're filming and recording this, it's the first week of March or second week of March. What day is it? Anyways,
I don't know.
So it's kind of starting to warm up a bit. So one of the days that we were filming while we were there, I was very excited because I got to wear a 2-piece denim short set crop top that is rainbow print. And that was only because it was like 85 degrees. But then another day it was like 50 degrees. So it's kind of weird there right now. But over the summer, you will have your eyeballs burned, because it is like 120 degrees there. I got a sunburn on my eyeballs over the summer.
I don't think I ever experienced that, but it is like walking into an oven.
And Lily, you might be excited to know that we are very open to purchasing an Airbnb property in Tempe, which is your old stomping grounds at ASU.
Any excuse to go hit up Mill Ave.
Oh my gosh.
Shall we begin our Over It?
Yes, let's do it. So, Over It.
What she said.
Okay, Lil, I feel like we just kicked off the show with like a lot of joy, which is very
I feel like we
on-brand
just
for
haven't
us.
talked in a while, so we wanted to catch up a little. Let's bring it down a notch to some negativity.
What's going wrong in your life?
Well, actually, in the topic of, oh wow, it's raining.
It is raining
I
here.
was going to say in the topic of weather, I would say I'm over the fluctuating weather. I would like it to pick a side.
But that's March. Don't you remember, Lily? I don't know if you know this, but today, as we are recording this, it is the 1-year anniversary of our previous president going on the news and shutting down the country. And so last year in March, do you remember it rained for like the entire month? Do you remember that?
Yeah, only because I do remember it seeming to coincide with the start of quarantine, and it was just like the world is ending.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it genuinely felt like, okay, everything's just done. So let's all stay inside and be sad.
If the weather's going to pick a side for you, like what side does it need to pick?
Honestly, I could deal with either one. I like to be cozy when it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little inconvenient then to take Max out, but I wouldn't mind some sunshine. I would like to go sit by Lisa's pool.
Yes, absolutely. But we do know you like a good twinkle light. And I feel like the weather we're experiencing right now is twinkle light perfection.
My Christmas tree is still up in my living room.
No, it's not. And it's real.
At this point, I just don't know what to do because, well, it's dead.
I'll help you.
It's not like there's anything. It's not like it like smells or something. Like it still smells good.
No.
The problem now is that it's so dry. And like this problem existed like over a month ago. This is what I'm over too. This Christmas tree so if I pick it up, there's just going to be pine needles everywhere. And it's like not quite small enough that it's like easy for me to pick up. And I also have a question for either of you.
Yes.
That was to Jocelyn and our producer, Melissa. Can you just leave it downstairs? I'm afraid I'm going to get in trouble.
I think there are designated
Do I have
times
to call
of year.
someone?
You can call the city or not even call. You can go on the website and you can do a dump. I'll send you a link because I've done it too. There's a dump, like you can request like twice a year to do like big dumps and they'll come pick it up.
Because basically this is what my concern is. One, it's going to leave a trail of pine needles as I bring it outside, regardless of whether even if Lisa helps me or if I do it by myself, it's going to be a huge mess. And let's be honest, I'm not going to go and vacuum the hallway and elevator and everything to clean it up because that's going to be very difficult to even find outlets to get that done. And I don't have a cordless vacuum. Secondly, then I'm afraid I'm going to leave it outside and then get in trouble.
I think that allegedly you should throw it off your balcony. I don't know if that's illegal.
Honestly, that occurred to me because I'm like, well, then if there's pine needles like in the planter, like who cares? But
no,
like
my
neighbors
they were growing
are
there.
like,
they were growing there.
My neighbors above me and below me they scare me too much, so I'm gonna avoid that. I even was thinking about like doing it in the middle of the night, but then I'm scared of like leaving it out there and getting in trouble.
Well, if you allegedly need any help with that activity, just let me know. I'm glad to come help you. Allegedly, potentially.
Thanks. Did I tell you also that they have one of the thieves on camera?
One of the thieves from your car stealing your stuff?
Yeah,
wow.
Should I show her to the internet and have you guys?
Yeah,
if anyone knows her,
and it's a female. Wow,
yeah,
I like
blonde.
that. She's like a vigilante lady.
No, fuck her. She's the one that put my birth control in the trash can.
That is not a cool female empowerment thing to do. You don't throw another lady's BC in the trash.
Right? When I found out it was a girl, I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Are you kidding? You didn't want it. You could have left it there. You didn't have to throw it away. I don't use it anyway, but
that is messed up. But yeah, let's put her on blast so we can start getting the community going. We can get the community riled up to try to catch this person on the mean streets of Studio City. Oh, you have like a printed, you have printed materials featuring this woman.
They left it on our door. It says, Dear tenants, please be advised we have recently had several incidents in the building where a woman with long blonde hair and a face mask is seen entering the building with what appears to be a USPS master key and stealing tenants' mail. I'm like, where did she get it?
That's crazy.
Then again, the post guy did get held up at gunpoint, so who knows? So
You need to move. This sounds dangerous, Lily.
And the house across the street literally was like all on fire. Like I was concerned I was going to have to evacuate.
This is crazy. But show me the photo of her. What if we know her eyes?
Yeah, she has glasses on too, I think.
She's smart.
And she drives a white Toyota, it looks like, but she gets into the passenger seat, so she has an accomplice.
That's so terrifying. Oh, yeah. Don't recognize her. I don't really know many
She's
thieves.
kind of basic looking. She's wearing like an Adidas tracksuit and some Converse.
Did she steal either of those items from the front of your house?
She has nice blonde hair. You would think you would put your hair up to steal packages, but...
Yeah, I feel as though our community here on Overshare and on Shared Channel are probably going to be the people to bring this criminal to justice.
You know, I thought about putting it on Twitter, but then I was like, is there any way someone could identify my apartment complex?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that's probably something
I don't
good
really
to think about.
I don't know if anyone's going to those links, and hopefully I'm leaving soon, but...
Very interesting. Well, sorry that that's going on. What a mess.
Yeah, I'm overall. What about you?
So this is actually weirdly something I don't think I've talked about at all on this podcast, or maybe I have. So stop me if I'm repeating myself. But after Chris and I got married a year and a half ago, almost, I already knew before we were going to get married that I was going to add his last name to my name. So I'm not like getting rid of any part of my name because it's just too complicated. I'm too old. I have too much going on. It's already confusing enough to like be on the internet. Yeah. So I'm never going to stop going. No. So I'm still going to go by Jocelyn Davis. I'm going to go by like Jocelyn Reese in like my personal life, which is like basically nowhere because I don't really have a personal life. So
on like bills and stuff.
It's more of like a nice concept. You know what I mean? And
it's like an honorary name change.
Yes. And, you know, it's interesting because I never knew whether or not, like, I feel like some people are like, I'm absolutely going to change my last name or I'm absolutely not. Like, I never really had a game plan. I knew I would probably never change it for work purposes because it's just too...
the name.
Exactly. Let's not lie. Like if your new last name was Butt, you would change it. You would not change it.
Yeah, no, I really hope for a cool one.
And actually, Chris never really had an opinion about it either, which kind of, I think, made me want to do it because I was like, oh, that's cool. I like
he
doesn't care.
He doesn't want to brand you with his name.
No, but his last name is like, let's be real, significantly cooler than my last name. My last name is basically Smith. I mean, Davis is a name everybody has. So his last name is Reese, which means laugh in Italian. So like, that's Reese. So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely down for that. That's a cool last name. So I started trying to change my last name legally, like, I don't know, probably 8 months ago. I thought it would be a nice idea to give him like for our first anniversary, like my new social security card or something. But here's the thing. You have to start by literally getting a new social security number. And during this era of COVID, especially that we're living in, you have to get a new social security number to change. When you change
that, I'd be like, no, I spent 35 years. However, how old are you?
I'm 30. I'm 38. Okay.
I'd be like, I spent 38 years memorizing this shit. I'm not getting a new one now.
So I hired a service to take care of all this business for me because you can pay an outside company to help you change your last name. And also, hello, by the way,
seems questionable.
If you're old like me, you have like a lot going on. So like I bought a house and I have cars,
and then it would have to change everything.
You have to change everything. You have to change any investments you have, anything. So it is an effing mess. So I feel like at this point, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I changed it, but like never actually do it because it's too much work.
I'm blown away that they make you change the number.
You have to get a new, like you're a new human being. It's like you were reborn.
Why? That's more work for everyone.
I don't know. I guess it's to protect people from
edit.
I don't know. Or maybe I could just like hire one of these vigilante, like thief type people that you seem to have around you to just give me a fake social security card to like be like, look, I changed it.
I mean,
So anyways, I'm over the process. I feel like I'm on the verge of giving up.
I would be too. I was just thinking, like, even if you just like started using it as your name, I guess I've only ever used my name, so I don't know if you get denied if you use a different name. But if you like tacked it on,
yeah.
like,
So here's the funny thing is, I had this big group of girlfriends from college, and there's 13 girls on this group chat of my college girlfriends, the ones that I go on the mystery trip with every year. Mm-hmm. So I texted them and I was like, hey, you guys, this feels like actually impossible. I would say 10 of them are married probably out of the 13.
None of them.
And I was like, what the F am I doing wrong? Why is this so hard? Would you believe not a single one of them has changed their last name?
People just do it like on Instagram, I think.
And I think some of their husbands actually think that they have.
I mean, who's going to check?
Well, there's this whole concept of like, oh my gosh, well, you have to have the same last name if you have kids, because like then someone will think that you abducted your kid if you're at the airport with a kid without the same last name. And one of my girlfriends was like, my children do not look like me at all. And I've never been accused of that. So I think it's going to be all right.
And anyways, like, you don't have to be the parent to be. I mean,
yeah. And I
like
don't know.
That's not even a real excuse. Anyway, it was stupid.
So anyways, what I'm getting at is if any of you guys listening have any tips, tricks, or anything like that,
have you changed your identity? Because apparently that's what you're doing.
Yeah, because I mean, even think
Melissa just Googled it.
You have to get a new card with the name, but the number doesn't change. Well, then look at me with false information.
Which brings me back to, sounds like you were using a service that does it for you, changes your identity for you, seems sketchy.
I think it's called like Miss to a Mrs. or something like
that. It's actually her like literally talking to people in India at a call center and
giving them access to all my accounts.
You're literally like the scam call things I've been watching on YouTube.
I've like deeded them my house and I don't even know that it's happened.
They're like, yes, and now it looks like your computer security's been compromised. You need to wire us 20 grand. But actually, we don't take wire transfers. Can you go buy it in Google Play cards?
Oh my gosh, but here's the other thing that I didn't even mention. When I first started this process, like, I don't know, a long time ago.
Oh no.
I called the Social Security office because they're like, you have to make an appointment to come in to do the whole change. And I called and the woman on the phone just started laughing. She's like,
you can't come here.
She's like, we're not doing this kind of stuff right now. She's like, is it like essential for your job that you change your name? And I was like, no. She's like, okay, just call back. And I was like,
when is that a thing?
Well, I guess it is. I guess it is essential for some people. They have to like, I don't know, get a new Social Security card or their first one for their job. Anywho, so I was like, okay, should I call back like next month? And she started cracking up. She's like, no. We're not going to be talking. She's like, call back next year. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll end up doing it. It's a lot of work.
That reminds me, I just saw someone tweet the other day and go, how do celebrities get out of jury duty? And I wanted to respond and be like, well, I'm not a celebrity, but one, if you're in college, every time they send it to you and you're just like, oh, I'm out of state or whatever, that's convenient. But then most recently it was that COVID happened. So I just didn't go. And I was like,
I think they are having jury duty, but I think you can easily just say, I'm not coming.
It was
like, I don't feel comfortable.
It was I'm pretty sure if this is really a year from the day, it was literally the day that lockdown started. And I just used it as like oh no, like I was going to go. And then all of a sudden it was, oh my God, I do remember it was raining. And I was like, there's going to be traffic downtown. Like, I don't know. And I just like didn't go and was going to just be like, I'm so sorry that COVID, I was too nervous. And then I just never heard anything again. And then I went online and read like a COVID update and it was like, if your thing fell in between these dates, you didn't have to. And I'm like,
and Melissa, our producer, just held up her jury summons and it said hers got pushed until May. Do you know I've never done jury duty? I don't even know like, if I've ever been requested. I wonder if they're still being sent to my parents' house because I actually
Wait, that's crazy. You've never done it and you're 38?
Yeah.
How did you get out of it for so long? I mean, I'm 30.
Know. I mean, so
31 this month.
I only use the address of like no one really has my home address because I have a P.O. box and then my parents' address. I get most of my mail still gets sent to their house.
So your mom like sends back that you're like,
so maybe it's getting sent there. I'm not sure. But I would imagine I'll get one here. I've lived here almost like I think around 3 years. So I'm sure I'll get one here at some point.
Mine goes to my mom's usually. I think it just started coming here. I changed my address at the DMV and everything goes here now except my voting stuff. So then I have to go to Camarillo, to Leisure Village, the old people neighborhood, to go vote. And they're all very Republican. And it's like, hi.
Oh my gosh. Well, Lil, I'll keep you posted on this saga, and you can be posted on your jury saga.
And we're rambling. We need to take
we got to take a call. We got to take a call. If you guys don't know the drill, we would like to have you on this show. Please call in, leave us a voicemail, 3 minutes or less. The number is 562-661-5729. And if you're comfortable doing so, please share your name, because I like to be able to like know your name. It gives me a better picture.
Aspect.
Yeah. All right. Well, roll the tape.
Hey, I'm Joss. My name's Morgan, and this week I am over stupid ass coworkers. So I work at Taco Bell, and I have for over a year and a half now. And every day we get $6 of free break food each day. I've been trying to cut Taco Bell out of my diet, so I get my dad this like monster ass burrito that has everything, like every ingredient in it. And I have this coworker, and like he's kind of like, we're kind of friends outside of work, but not really. We have like a mutual friend. But like he goes from like really nice to snapping at me for no reason and like refusing to do shit. And I'm just like, I'm just so done and over it. And I love you guys. And bye.
First off, shout out to Taco Bell. Love Taco Bell.
But I'm a little concerned they don't get, is $6? That's
$6 goes pretty far at Taco Bell, doesn't it?
I don't feel like it does.
I feel like it does.
Anyway, we can move on to the real concern, which actually I think right now is that I want Taco Bell. But no, Morgan, I'm sorry. I had to deal with that a lot with Jocelyn.
No, but it is so hard, I think, if you are in a co-working situation where it's not the best, because you spend more time with these people than like your actual friends and your actual family. So if you're working with someone and spending your entire day with someone who is like snappy or whatever, that is like toxic and exhausting.
Well, not to mention, like, I know I personally am way too just emotional about everything. That like, if I have some kind of conflict going on, or if someone's like doing something to like interfere with my workflow, it will very much interfere with my workflow. Like it will interfere with everything. And that's all I will think about until it's resolved.
For sure. And so I feel like, Morgan, you, if you can, somehow have to like form boundaries with this person, or if that also doesn't work, like you got to straight up tell them like, you need to stop talking to me like that.
Well, Thank you. I think also sometimes I feel like I could say this because I know she won't be listening. Lisa, in the past, we shared an office for 6 years. And I feel like you had the same kind of thing with her, that like 95% of the time we were great. And then there would be certain days that I don't think she necessarily even would realize. And I'm sure there was days that I was annoying and she hated me. But there would be days that she was just like in kind of a pissy mood. And I don't even think she necessarily realized that she would be snappy. But you'd ask her to do something, and then she'd kind of like roll her eyes and like, fine, and like give you attitude. And I'd be like, okay, look, I'm not like, I don't care if you do it, but like it's your job. And I'm sorry. And I don't know why you're mad at me about it. And I would do it if I could, but I'm sorry. Like just basically laying it out there and being like, look, I know something is going on, and I know it can't be from me doing something. So.
And that's the thing, is like, I think if you are just a normal human being, you're going to have bad days. I'm sure me and you definitely had bad days up in the mix. I know I did for sure. But you can't have a bad day every day. Like you need to be a decent person to be around.
Well, and if you have a bad day, like I feel like if we had bad days, we're just quiet. I think there's people that just handle it differently. And sometimes I think maybe they don't realize it. So a polite reminder or pointing it out that it caught you off guard or like upset you that doesn't hurt. Or if they are just an asshole and it's like a character trait, then I would just maybe still bring it up, and hopefully it's something they could work on. And if not, then try to avoid them.
Just stop talking to them as much as possible. And if they start harassing you, you just tell the powers that be, because I feel like Taco Bell takes care of their employees. I sure believe that they do.
Just take a bite of your huge burrito.
Anyways, Morgan, we're sorry, but thank you for calling in. Will you send us a tweet or something and let us know which Taco Bell that you work at so we could come visit you? That would be so fun. Do you have a drive-through? And before
I only go to Taco Bells with drive-thrus.
Absolutely. And again, you guys, we would love to have you call in 562-661-5729. And give us your name. We want to know what you're over. All right. Lil, you ready to jump into the meat and potatoes?
You always make food references, and we do this at lunchtime. Let's go.
Okay, so this week on Overshare, we are jumping back into the pop culture pond, because we've done a few episodes that people seem to have really reacted well to and that we've had a lot of fun with, where we just kind of make rankings, have general conversations about our thoughts on super important stuff like the most underrated films of all time, which I know people had a lot of opinions about. I know I got some feedback that the movies I thought were underrated were actually classics. And
you misunderstood the directions? Weird.
Someone said this feels very on brand for Jocelyn, that all of her movies are actually like Oscar-winning films.
Literally.
Anyways, so today we are going to dive into the world of girl groups, which I don't know if you know this about Lily specifically. She only likes to listen to music with female voices.
I really didn't know where you were going with that. I was going to say, I don't only listen to girl groups. What?
No, but you love female voices.
I don't exclusively listen to them, but it is like it's a preference, definitely. Or, but also usually girls with lower voices, so I can sing along easier. Because, us people with our lower register. You don't feel like, and something about Jocelyn is that she doesn't really listen to music that much.
So I'm not in the car very much. And when I am in the car these days for long drives, I'm either in complete silence with my own thoughts because I'm exhausted as a human being, or I'm listening to a podcast that soothes my soul.
First of all, side note, you guys, she has a new fancy Lexus now, but she had a Prius for years.
Still have the Prius, never getting rid of it. Love that car. Oh my God.
The amount of times we drove in that car and I couldn't connect my music because it was like, oh no, well, the car is moving, blah, blah, blah. Do you know that after a year, I find out that she has an auxiliary cord the whole time and she just doesn't use it because
I didn't even know that. I do? I don't know that. I did not know that.
So
interesting.
We got some entertainment after a year.
But I do listen to music in our house all the time.
But a bunch of girl groups?
No, I mostly just say, Alexa, play music. And then she just gives me whatever I like. You know what I mean? Which is usually male voices, interestingly enough. I listen to a lot of John Legend, a lot of Andy Grammer, a lot of Chris Stapleton. Those are my three go-tos. So
random. But love Andy Grammer.
But today we're going to be talking specifically about girl groups. Wait, oh my gosh, did I just make I'm not even going to say it. The person that I said that is an Amazon device that I listen to my music on started playing in our producer Melissa's house because she heard
bitch
my
thinks
voice.
Everything's about her.
Gosh, she's so self-absorbed. But today we're going to be talking about girl groups, which I do have a lot of strong opinions about especially because, not that it was a new thing in the 90s, but the 90s were right for the taking when it came to girl groups. That
okay,
was
wait. Pause. Are we talking about only older girl groups or more current ones too?
No.
All time?
Each of us are going to be picking our top three and we're going to go back and forth. So do you want to kick it off or do you want me to kick it off?
All time?
I know it's hard. And
fine.
I know.
Okay. Do I start at number one or just start at number three?
You know what? Start wherever you want, but I feel like we should lead up to your number one.
Okay. Ooh. Oh no.
So your number three girl group.
Can number three be a tie?
Sure.
Melissa says yes. Number three is going to be a tie. I feel like I'm going to be forgetting something huge by doing this, but 3 and 4 is a tie also just because it will not upset the fandoms. Little Mix and Fifth Harmony, formerly known as Lilas.
Yes, of course. You have been an OG fan since day one of Lilas, which stood for what? Like little ladies that like to bounce around. What does that even stand for? I can't remember.
Love you like a sister.
Yeah, that. Whatever.
It was the cheesiest shit.
It was a dumb name.
Thank God they had a career after X Factor because they did. That was a weird era for them, I think. And they were all just children.
They were so young. They were like 15. I think Camila was like literally 15 or 14 at the time.
I'm trying to think of when I met them a couple times, but you did the interview on like the Google Hangout with them when they're literally like in their bedrooms at home.
So Misty Kingma, who was the host of Clever Music back in the day, we used to send her to X Factor 2 nights a week, every week, and she would interview everyone on the show every single week, including the celebrities and the judges and stuff. And so, I mean, she was like basically their roommate at that point. It was
great because Clever didn't get great access on a lot of carpets, but since The Voice was something that like people didn't want to have to go to it every week or like send someone to it every week because it's expensive to send a reporter and a camera person. That was something that we knew we would get people at, and we could be consistent. So literally Misty would go every single week.
She would go to American Idol, The Voice, and X Factor.
Yep.
Which was crazy.
I feel like she even did like So You Think You Can Dance sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that too.
But anyway, then you did the Google Hangout, and then we did like a Clean and Clear campaign with them.
Oh,
so Dana and I got to go hang out with them.
I used to talk to Fifth Harmony like every day, honestly. They were great.
It made it even more embarrassing that Lisa... You know, when you would vote for someone on X Factor, it like posts to your Facebook.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I didn't realize it, and I did. And it was when they were still called Lilas. It was like in the very beginning. Oh, wait. Lauren Jareggi was my first phone interview.
That's right. So wait,
oh my God. Wait, full circle. Guess who the other phone interview I had was? Sabrina Bryan.
Oh my gosh.
Dancing
from
on the Stars.
Cheetah Girls.
And she's from Cheetah Girls, another girl group.
So wait, my question is this. I feel like you've been going on and on about Lilas / 5H. Is Fifth Harmony your number 3, or are we just talking about them?
Oh, yeah, no, I was saying that 3 and 4, it's tied with them in Little Mix. I feel like they're just like the same era of, I mean, they were just popular at the same time. But,
Little Mix, awesome.
I feel like I'm curious to see what their new era, now that Jessie has left.
So sad,
I know. I hope that they can still thrive. And then I guess Fifth Harmony is not a thing
together anymore
either. So I guess all of these girl groups that we're going to be talking about are no more except for Little Mix for me.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, are the best performers of all time.
Little Mix is so wildly underrated in the United States, but I think they kind of have like the best life because they can come to LA and most people don't know who they are.
Well, I mean, one of them did just leave because of mental health. So,
yeah, but they're very famous overseas. In Europe, they're very, very well known. In America, not as much. So they could like come here on vacation and no one would know what's going on.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I saw them walking down the street once on Sunset at our old office.
When they were there, I feel like they've gotten to a
another level. Okay. Yes. Well, I love them. I think they should be more famous, quite frankly.
And we met them in person too, and they're absolutely lovely.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. Well, my number 3 is really going to throw you for a loop. My number 3 are the Chicks. So growing up in LA, we were not exposed to country music at all. I don't know why. My parents didn't listen to it, and my parents had very diverse music taste, but it did not include country. So
weirdly, my dad did listen to country, but because Thousand Oaks was very cowboy
Western.
Yes,
that's true. So when the Chicks came on the scene, I was like, "What is this genre? What are these instruments they're holding?" I find out it's called bluegrass genre. I don't know what it is, but I also just felt like they were so cool and they were so bad because they were some of the first country artists to ever really stand up for their beliefs that were different than a lot of other country artists at the time. And they got like straight up canceled because of it. And this is like in the 90s, but they just continue to come back. And anywho, I love their song. Why am I blanking on it? I even wrote it down.
I just keep thinking of wide open spaces.
Wide open spaces. And wasn't there a song called like Fly or something
What was
like that?
Are they the ones that did that Earl Has to Die?
Yes, Earl Has to Die.
My friend
We
Lawrence always used to love that one.
And so that's my number 3 pick, primarily because of like their backstory and also the fact that they were able to like transcend bluegrass and become pop stars. It was like around the same era as Shania, which Shania, like, I mean, she's not in a group. She's a one name person.
No, she's
and
like,
we
let's
all
go,
know
girls,
how we feel
but,
about
like,
her.
I'm still solo.
Yeah, she was probably like, let's go, girls. And then she brought the chicks along with her. So they're my number 3. And I'm excited to see like what they continue to do into like their 80s because I feel like they're just going to keep on going.
The Dixie Grandmas.
Just the grandmas.
Just the grandmas.
Yes. Okay, Lil, what's your number 2?
Number 2, I think I'm going to have to say Destiny's Child.
What? How are they your number 2 and not your number 1?
Because you know who my number 1 is.
I know who your number 1 is, but Destiny's Child, I mean, they're so amazing and they're still together. They never broke up. Did they? They didn't break up. They
just
still
stopped
together.
releasing music. They're on a hiatus.
They're just like on a 20-year hiatus.
I will say I do commend them for being able to adapt and like get rid of members and add members and like
ooh, the tea of it all. I love.
I would love documentaries on Dixie Chicks and Destiny's Child. Just
Destiny's Child deserves like probably a 10-part series, like similar to like the ones that you see on ESPN about athletes. We need that.
Yeah, or like I feel like MTV needs to get back into that when they used to do like behind the video or like didn't they do diary things of
yes.
Regardless, I want some more biopics on the girl groups.
And did you know they started in the year 1990 when they were like literal children? When you were born, the year you were born.
Well, and then wasn't like Beyonce's mom their entire story is insane. Oh, dad. He was
Beyonce's
the manager, but
dad
wasn't
was
the
the manager.
but she did their
costumes.
wardrobe. Yeah.
Yes. Tina Knowles is like a fashion icon, but they actually got their start on Star Search, as did a lot of other people during that era of time. And they never broke up. Calandria, as I like to call her because that's her formal name, and Michelle and Beyonce are all still besties in real life.
I love that. That makes me really happy. And I also loved I have the song Stole by Kelly Rowland on my music. That's very sad, very serious about school shootings. But me and my friend used to love that one too.
And now, like, you know,
we didn't even say favorite songs for all of our.
Well, what is your favorite song?
I guess
from Destiny's Child.
Say My Name for sure.
Oh, and that was also great because that was with the previous 2 women that were in the group who I don't know where are they now? What are they doing now?
They probably are pissed.
My favorite,
I loved that video too.
What about like Bootylicious or Survivor or
there's so many. Survivor's one that I really forget about, and when it comes on, I'm just like, oh wow. Isn't it Bugaboo?
How does that go?
I'm not going to sing
Bugaboo, a bugaboo. That like that.
I'm bugging me, I'm bugging you. I feel like they're all great.
And I think the only time they performed at Coachella, that's the only time I've ever seen them live, which when people ask me what my best concert experience is, I've been to a lot of amazing concerts, but I felt like when Beyonce performed at Coachella, that was a cultural moment. I feel like it was beyond a concert. It was amazing.
I was not in the right mindset to enjoy it.
You had been Coachellaing very hard.
Yeah, it was after the phone thief incident, and it was just a lot. But I think Coachella has been so. I feel like we've been so lucky to be able to go to that each year because even when we were talking about like first concerts and favorite concerts, I feel like I've gotten to see so many people that I would never have gone to their concerts. But it's like, oh yeah, I've seen this person and this person and this person. Didn't Destiny's Child did come out? But
yes,
it was like very brief.
They came out maybe for like one song. I
think I will say, and I hope no one gets mad at me for this because Beyonce was amazing. The whole performance was great. Phenomenal. My only problem was that I was pretty fucked up, but that I'm like looking to sing along and like rock out to the songs I know. But I felt like every song she performed, including those, were like arranged differently because of the marching band and everything that was going on, that she would only sing like 20 seconds of it, and then there would be like a drum breakdown, and it's like, no, but keep going, please. More bugaboo.
Yeah. I know, but it was not a concert. It was like a moment, like a cultural milestone.
I think,
like.
had I not been in the middle of a crowd with a lot of people and not been able to see, I was just like listening, and then I'm like, no, why did it stop?
Do you know what I was actually thinking of, like in regards to Beyonce, is just how many like amazing female collaborations there are. Like I was even thinking to myself, like, if Lady Gaga and Beyonce were like a girl duo, like they were on Telephone, that I think the world would explode, because I love Gaga so much as well. And
Speaking of,
yes.
The song Lady Marmalade.
Oh, another amazing, iconic Christina Aguilera at her absolute best. I mean, I cannot.
Jocelyn exclusively refers to her as that.
Lil' Kim.
Aguilera.
I mean,
Pink,
oh my gosh.
It was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is undeniably, okay, actually, like Destiny's Child was going to be my number 1, so I might have to do some, shifting around here. But my number 2 is absolutely easily TLC. Okay. TLC, I used to listen to waterfalls in my parents' swimming pool and reenact the music video every single day when I was, and the dance moves, if you're watching on YouTube, you know what I'm doing. But I mean, everything about them all across the board. Also, I was doing some heavy Googling of them this morning, and they are the only girl group that has, of all time, we're talking like Diana Ross and the Supremes and everybody, they're the only girl group of all time to have 2 songs that are in the top 5 of all ranking songs of all girl groups ever. They were like everything. Waterfalls, Scrubs. I mean, Scrubs.
Scrubs is great.
That's an amazing song. And all 3 of them are like icons in their own right. It's hard to find a group where all of the women or men or whoever are wearing like costumes, yet are so undeniably themselves. Like Lisa Left Eye Lopez, R.I.P. Gonna miss her forever. I mean, T-Boz, Chili with the abs. Chili's abs deserve their own Instagram account. Okay. Like, I'm so obsessed with them on so many levels.
I was just Googling them to see. I think my problem is that I was a little young to be like obsessed with them. I loved No Scrubs and I liked Waterfalls, but I feel like even that I didn't listen to that much.
Yeah, I would listen to them, and then Boys to Men, Water Runs Dry. There was like a big water theme in my life at that time. And between those 2 groups, that was like
they
literally
were
my childhood.
as well. Yep.
Yes, you were too young.
1990 to present.
But they always looked so cool. They had the best costumes. And they were also like sexy, but in a powerful way. They weren't like, oh my gosh, like I'm sexy in a really like obvious way. Like I also love the Pussycat Dolls, but I feel like they're sexy in an obvious way because they do burlesque, which I absolutely love. But like TLC were just like cool. Like you also feel like they could win a fight.
Well, and also the Pussycat Dolls none of them sing except for
one
Nicole
of them.
Scherzinger.
Yeah. Yes. That's actually.
Did you watch Popstar?
The movie? Is that a movie or a TV show?
No, it's a TV show. It's the girl version of Making the Band, and it had Eden's Crush, which had Nicole Scherzinger in it.
That is right. I do vaguely remember it from
goodbye.
I don't think I watched it though. No.
It was so bad. The song is terrible too, and the video is hilarious. Highly recommend you go watch. Eden's Crush. Get over yourself. Goodbye, like in parentheses, I believe.
I feel like we're gonna have the same number 1, although my real number 1, for the record, is absolutely Destiny's Child.
I thought yours was Destiny's Child.
Mine is, but we've already discussed them at length. I just have to give a brief shout out to the song Bootylicious, which I bought as a single cassette tape. You could buy a cassette tape with 1 song on it. It cost $1.99. And I used to race around my neighborhood in my Nissan Sentra, 1996, with my friends, blasting that song.
Oh my God, I was 6.
I was already driving. So there you go. Lily, I feel like I already know your number 1.
The Spice Girls.
Absolutely. Who else? Who else are you gonna pick?
I can't even think of a girl group without being like, obviously it's the Spice Girls. Like every song. I know all the words. I can tell you who's singing all of the words. I know all the ad libs. It's amazing. Even weirdly, me and my friend Audrey had a phase like probably like 5 years ago where that was all we listened to.
Question though, controversial question.
Yes.
Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
Ginger.
Oh, okay. Why is
Weird.
that?
I don't
Tell
know.
me.
Really couldn't tell you. Never liked Baby. I think it was because I was always like automatically, actually, I would say automatically I would be like, oh, you're Baby if we're like assigning it. But it's that I think my friend Shelby always wanted to be. And then none of the other, like, no one wanted to be Sporty. She was, which is ironic because she's literally the only one with a good voice.
I was always very just generally intrigued by Posh because she just like didn't really sing. I feel like in all the videos and stuff, she was just posing the whole time. And I was like, is she in the group or did she lost? Like, how did she get here?
So much now looking back, the movie Spice World.
Exactly.
How, like ridiculously campy and like not serious it is. And I don't think watching it as a kid, I realized how it's like making fun of itself. But even looking back now and seeing how Victoria Beckham literally is like a parody of herself in it. She'll be like, should I wear the little Gucci dress, or the little Gucci dress?
And it's so funny too to think about songs that you listened to as a child that were like
To Become One.
inappropriate. To Become One. I used to sing and like it's just I had no idea what was going on,
It
which
comes
is weird.
on in my car like all the time. And Lisa always, every time Lisa goes, ooh, the sexy song.
It's super sexual, but it's such, I mean, they also, I feel as though transcend music completely. Like they are just, when you think of the 90s or like the 1900s, the latter half,
Like
they're right there at the top.
I hate the term girl power. Like nothing makes me cringe more, and it makes me just think of like those like flowers and like peace signs and just so cheesy. But that is what like they embody. Like if Limited 2 was a girl
100%.
group that was like a little older, maybe.
Yes, like if we had a mood board for the 90s, like they would
It'd be
absolutely
like Forever
on
21
it.
meets Limited 2, and oh my god, I just love them so much. But yeah, I don't know why I like Ginger. I even actually read her autobiography once, which thinking I like remember
You
reading
don't
it,
really
but I
read books,
I know, and
which is why that's weird.
I'm aware. That's why I'm telling you. And now I'm thinking back, like I don't remember anything about it. Which actually, going back to TLC, I saw a tweet yesterday that was like I think it was a TikTok, that it was someone that captioned it like me not being able to remember what I did yesterday, but also doing this, and it's them doing the entire rap in waterfalls.
It's classic, and I get it. Also, I have to give a quick shout out to a group that I don't know if anyone else remembers. You probably don't because you were like a fetus at the time. This group called Vogue. Okay, it was another girl group.
I've heard of it.
Melissa's nodding her head, and I do remember a few of their songs, but mostly what I recall about them is that they had the longest one of the girls had the longest acrylic nails I had ever seen in my life, and I just remember thinking, like as a kid, when I grow up, the first thing I'm gonna do is get really long nails like the girls in Vogue. And I've never had acrylic nails once in my entire life, but doing this episode has like revived my interest. But in Vogue, where are they? Where's in Vogue? Where are all these women?
I feel like I kind of want to do a honorable mention too. I'm gonna Google what they're called.
Oh, they were in the new Coming to America. I haven't watched it yet.
Do you remember the girl group Dream?
Vaguely. Did they have like a number in their name somewhere?
No, but I get what you're saying, and do you remember 3LW?
Yes, of course. Yes,
and the song. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for saying 3LW, and the song opens with the girl saying promises like 3 times, but she has a really bad lisp.
Oh no,
like,
I don't remember.
Making all these promises, and everyone would make so much fun of it. And I just always was like, why would they choose to have her open it?
Well,
and
girlfriend,
put those words in it. But
20 years later, we're still talking about it. Me and you are still talking about
and,
it.
you know, everyone loved the song.
There's just so many other girl groups that I'm really disappointed that we didn't get to talk about. So this might need to be a two-parter because
seriously, and also a dream was "He Loves You Not" was their hit single.
He
There
loves
was only
you.
one.
He loves you not. I also went to college with one of the girls who was in Diddy's making of the band or whatever that was. Danity Kane. Danity Kane. They had some fun songs.
Who was in it?
Aubrey
O'Day.
O'Day. Yes, who is like still very much up in the mix in the media because
Danity
she
Kane.
had
What was
she broke up Donald Trump Jr.'s marriage and puts them on blast like every day. It's like pretty funny.
That is funny. I missed out on that. What was they had what was the first aid kit? Damage? Yes.
Oh, damage. Oh, damage.
I can remember that when that oh my God, my guy friends hated it. Me
It's such
and
a
two
good
of my
song.
girlfriends. When that song came out, we had gone to my friend's lake house for the weekend and we just kept playing it on repeat. And they were like, why do we have to keep listening to this song? We're like, because it's so good.
It's so good. And then, I mean, we didn't even like pay homage to any of like the Supremes or like any of the like girl groups who actually
They don't
paved
feel
the
like-
way.
They don't feel like girl groups. They
but
feel
they
like
were.
women ensembles.
But they really were at the time. All of these women were probably like 21 years old. It's just the hairstyles. I feel like we're very tight, high and tight. And like lots of
also-
bangs happening. So they feel older and more mature.
And also, I have absolutely no clue. Were their origin stories usually that it's like they were friends or they like knew each other? Like, I think that the feeling of a girl group that's different is that girl groups feel so manufactured and put together.
And the
Motown
other
put them
thing,
together.
Motown, yeah. The other thing we did not even talk about.
They just had more
Blackpink.
chemistry than most of the white girl groups.
We didn't talk about K-pop at all. We didn't talk about Blackpink, who I really, really, really love Blackpink. Have you watched their documentary yet? It's
I literally
freaking
was
good.
10 minutes in. I was like, how can I download sound alikes of all of these songs to use in videos?
And Blackpink has such an amazing story, especially when you talk about like manufactured groups. Like they are very openly a highly super manufactured group. Like
That-
they show their whole entire backstory.
That entire concept blows my mind. That
Yeah,
people like go their whole they like train their whole lives to be.
But really quick before we wrap this ranking up,
Oh yes.
which, you know, if you guys are listening, we want your opinions on all of this as well and like who we missed. Because I have this feeling, this sinking feeling we've missed someone super important. But if you were to put together a 3-person girl group, woman group, female singer group, who would be in it? 3
like
people.
of solo artists.
A super group. It could be a super group.
Oh, I'm trying to like it might not necessarily work performance wise together, but I'm thinking voices.
Yes.
I want some Billie Eilish,
Ooh, that's okay. That's fun. Hadn't thought of that. That's great.
some Gaga maybe.
Fun.
Because I feel like Gaga has nice like deeper.
Yes. She can do it all. She can do
Yeah.
it all.
Actually, I kind of want to take it back. Maybe no. Maybe no Gaga. I'm thinking maybe Billie Eilish. This is such a basic trio, but Billie Eilish, Halsey,
Ooh.
and
Okay.
Ariana.
That is something I would like to listen to. That sounds like it's going to be interesting.
Right?
That
Like,
sounds
because I
very
feel like Billie
interesting.
Eilish has some of the weird stuff. Ariana can literally hit any note possible. P.S. I watched something recently that showed a clip. It was the Justin Bieber. No,
Seasons?
it was Billie Eilish documentary. It was
Oh,
like
okay.
it was Justin Bieber. It was when she met Justin Bieber at Coachella. Was
Yeah.
during Ariana's performance. Ariana just looks so effortless when
She
she's
is.
singing and performing.
Yeah.
She's literally laying on stage. I'm like, she doesn't look like a real person. She looks like she's just like she looks manufactured, like someone created her to perform. She's just perfect.
I think she is like the epitome of someone who you see these videos of kids when they're 2. Like there are videos of her like in her car seat singing in the back seat. And it's like, that sounds really good.
If I ever have kids, I like
great.
I'm like, please, can they be super talented like that?
Oh my gosh. Well, obviously this is something I've thought about a lot.
Yeah. What's your
So mine is
Shania
Beyonce.
Twain?
Oh my gosh, I didn't include Shania. Okay, well, I need a bigger group. Okay, mine is going to be Beyonce and Lady Gaga because you know me, and I like when people bring it. I want to see the dancing. I want to see the entertainment. I want the
so
drama.
you are going performance-wise. Okay.
Absolutely. I like the drama of it all. I like pop music and all the fanfare. I want there to be fireworks. I want there to be stuff on fire. I'm excited about it. But Lady Gaga, Beyonce, and then Britney Spears, because I just feel like it would be so interesting. It would add an element of like nostalgia. They could like come around her. They could dance together. It would be great.
Like it feels like a resurgence of like the Britney, Christina, Madonna kind of.
Yes. Yes.
Do you remember when that was controversial?
Do you remember when they tongue kissed and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!"
They barely tongue kissed though. It's literally like it was just the weirdest. I don't know.
It's very weird. It's
and
very
even like
weird to think
Miley,
about.
even Miley next to that doesn't feel that inappropriate.
Yeah,
maybe that it was Robin Thicke, but
now everyone's just like freely naked on Instagram, so
exactly,
it doesn't really matter anymore.
It's just we've come so far.
We've come so far. Anyways, Lil, I feel like we really went there. We discussed a lot. We want to hear from you guys, though. Please feel free to tweet us, send us a DM on Instagram, tag us, leave a comment on YouTube, because we would like to continue this train discussing pop culture, hard-hitting things such as girl groups. But Lil, are you ready to jump into the final segment of the show or what?
Let's do it.
So long, share well. I hate us so much more now.
What brought you joy this week?
I had it earlier and now I forgot. So you go first and I'm going to jog my memory.
So as we are recording this, it is early March and the COVID vaccine is like rolling out, people. And what's bringing me joy is that I find that it's like a lot more complicated, the vaccines, when you have to get two, which is fine. I mean, if it's going to save your life, like awesome, like let's do this. But I'm excited that this Johnson & Johnson vaccine is just one shot. That's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just one shot. And it's a lot.
When do we get it?
I don't know when our age group is going to get it. You can sign up online. There's a website. I think it's called like MyTime or something like that, .com or .org.
I heard that if you like go at the end of the day that they have like extras some places.
Supposedly, because the other vaccines have to be refrigerated or kept at a really cold temperature. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is not like that, which is also why they're, I guess, able to roll it out. They are. That's what's being like rolled out in a lot of parts of the world that like don't have the refrigeration capacities. And so I'm excited about that, honestly, because we're supposedly all going to have the vaccine by the end of May.
That's not that far. Oh, yay. No, that brings me joy.
We'll see. But supposedly that's the goal at this point. And I like lofty goals. So I'm excited about that. My mom got it. Still waiting for Phil to get it. Because they're too young, for this first round. So hopefully he'll be able to get it soon. Anyhow, that's that's something serious that brought me joy this week.
This didn't bring me that much joy, but I guess it gave me a chuckle. That I was on a dating app and I matched with a guy, and first thing he said, and it's literally as if he copied and pasted it from every text I've ever received from a guy. It was like before I hadn't even said anything, and he had liked my picture. I matched, and then he sent something, and the first thing he sends is, "Hey Lily, just want to be upfront. I just got out of a relationship, and I'm not looking for anything serious. So I just like wanted to let you know up front, and like, sorry if you think I'm a dick for wanting something casual." And I was like, honestly, I appreciate it, because the last 5 guys have waited 2 months to tell me that. And he's like, they sound like douches. Then, of course, he proceeds to keep talking to me. And I'm like, but I'm bored, so fine. So he keeps talking to me, and I basically am telling him like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm not interested, so bye. And I like keep trying to say goodbye, but then he keeps talking. So I go and look on his Instagram, because one of his things in his profile was something about him and his friends having I don't even want to say it in case like I don't want anyone to find him. Basically, he and his friends take this picture every year that I don't know if it like really goes viral, but like it's really funny, and it's like a themed thing every year, and they've like upped their game every year. So apparently he was like, yeah, next year. I sent him that I was creeping on his Insta, and I was like, well, parting words, like loved the blah 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 picture, like love the commitment or something. And he responds, he's like, yeah, we were supposed to go on like Kelly Clarkson's show for it. Like, we're hoping it'll happen this year. And then he said something like, you better get in before I don't know, something like
Before I'm too famous?
Literally. And I go, why? Because you'll be too cool after Kelly Clarkson? And he's like, yeah, maybe. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And then I followed him. And he responds and just goes, oh, fuck. I was like, secret weapon. And he goes, oh, fuck, you have over 350,000 followers? Shit, now I feel like an asshole. I'm a peasant compared to you. What do you want, my queen?
But the best part about this is this whole conversation came after the first thing he told you was like, hi, but I'm already not interested, even though I haven't even gotten to know you. No. I just want you to know I'm not interested
in a
going
relationship.
into this. But still, it's just like so weird. Like
none of them want a relationship. They want someone to hook up with and also someone to talk to. I've said a lot of the guys that
they want to talk.
They don't necessarily even want to hook up. They literally just want like a friend to text that's a girl that they can like flirt with.
One of my friends went on a second date or something with this guy who literally all he wanted to talk about the entire date was his divorce that he's going through. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like he should go and like talk to a therapist or something. Like on your first or second date, don't you kind of want to like have a fun, like lighthearted, let's not talk about like your like dispute over your home.
I prefer maybe like the divorce be final.
Thank you. Yeah,
but,
that's what
I don't know
saying.
how long that takes, but at least like have it be like they've been separated for long enough and it's like going through the process.
I know. Being old is like really complicated because
especially in dating with children, like I can't be a stepmom.
But it's good that you know that. I think it's good that you know that. That way, like when you're meeting people, you can be like, okay, I'm comfortable dating someone who's divorced, but I don't know if I'm ready to be a mommy. You know what I mean?
Well, but then it's also like, oh, is that presumptive to be like, oh, like, why? First of all, that I'm like writing off people just because they potentially have a kid, which doesn't
you never know. You could meet someone and like, I mean, you love children.
They
and
could lie and tell me that they don't have a kid, and then I fall in love with them, and then.
Plus, here's the thing, Lily. If you meet someone who already has children,
then I don't have to push one out of my vagina.
Well, and chances are they already know how to speak, which we all know your biggest fear is that you're going to have children and not be able to teach them how to talk.
Wait, go back. Why is that a guarantee? How do you know they don't have a baby?
I don't know. I feel like they would have, it takes a little longer, you know,
they
to
are
like find a new relationship. Anyways, this show has gone off the rails completely. You guys, please be sure to subscribe. Leave us a little review, like even just a few words if you don't mind. Rate us 5 stars and share this show with a friend because we love doing it. And, you know, we want more people to like join the party.
And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment with your top 3 girl groups and your trio of
super group
people
group
for your super group. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anyways, I feel like this show is over and we'll see you guys next time.
Farewell.